I'm so very sorry, everyone. It was me. It was my turn to have audio issues.
Yeah, Mike's choking.
Nice.
Good start.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Down. Dun dun.
Hello.
Hello. I'm really sorry. I've had a bit of a thing of it. So I was wearing my nice new town t-shirt that I got for £15, which is an absolute bargain. That Umbro one. And I did the dad thing. So I had like a bottle of 2-litre Pepsi Max on the side, which had been kind of like there was only the dregs left. So I tried to, drink it as I walk through the house. And what I didn't realize is when it's up this high and I am holding it, it is bigger than a door frame. So as I walk through the kitchen door, I cut my mouth on the bottle, and then the rest of it just poured all the way down me.
You numpty.
I loved it. It's how it should be. Evening, everybody. Say hello. It'd be great to have you on. And it's a full pod. We got loads to talk about, actually. And we also have our first round, and I don't know how many rounds there are because people have actually come back to me now, of Gameapalooza, and we'll give away Docs tickets for Docs Fest in the summer. And it does feel like summer because the season is coming to an end. Carlisle have gone. So have most of the clubs in the Northwest, and Town are hanging on. They want a little bit of an Indian summer, and though we're trying to get away from it, League Two don't want us to leave just yet, and somehow we're still in the playoff race. I think we were all there yesterday, so you will have no unique feedback from any of us. We'll have all seen the same thing and not seen anything different on the cameras. But there we go.
I don't know, because I was sat next to Mark and he decided to watch 25 minutes of it from Bordeaux in his seat on the live stream.
Okay. Well, that's a hell of a lot better than I've got.
Just in case like Greenie's free kick actually went in and changed the result.
So we did have a
Were they ahead of us? Was the feed ahead of us?
Can you remember, right?
I've done that before. I've made that mistake.
When we went to Woking, it was one of the first games I'd been to since COVID. And they erroneously, it was the one with the last minute winner from Clifton. They erroneously sent out a notification saying we'd scored again. And I was he's like, are we on delay?
They did that at Aldershot in our last season.
Maybe it's just near me.
In conference. And it took me, I was literally thinking about having an argument with the person next to me. Like, well, how do you know we've not? And oh, yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
I think at that point, Danny Rose, 5G Danny Rose, was still under contract. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's conspiracy here, but
wake up, sheeple.
Makes you think.
I'm gonna sit on my comfy seat.
Piles pillow.
My Piles pillar.
We're all getting so old.
Was you going? I need to go get some Gaviscon at the end of the game.
Gaviscon yesterday. I spent 2 hours of my day looking for Gaviscon because I'm so old.
There you go. Oh dear. Well, it'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are, because even though we all went to the game, we didn't really divulge what our thoughts were on it. And I think my idea of the game was completely changed by the fact I couldn't get any signal, so I had no idea what everyone else was doing. So come final whistles, like, all right, brilliant, fucked it, great, well done, everyone. And then you're like, oh no, we're fine. It's still in our hands somehow. So there we go.
We had a roving reporter. We just had to keep going down the aisle to ask Youngie what was going on, because Youngie could get a signal. So
what phone network are you on?
Aisle.
I must have been in the spot. Me and Nick, who sat next to me, were both fine. So we for some reason had signal. But yes, I don't know why the rest of the end couldn't get it. But yeah, we must have been just in some weird 5G suite. Well, again, I'm not saying Danny Rose has got anything to do with this, but yeah, there you go.
It's very warm,
I got signal
at the moment.
I got signal. My dad and Nan didn't. It was just something right next to me, both of them on the same phone operator as me. So I think
shame you can't get signal on a Sunday night,
I couldn't send messages, but I could receive them and bits. I'm in time tonight.
Must be me then.
Big up Yogi with a UFC t-shirt, says Aaron.
Yeah, I'm a massive UFC fan. I love all the fighters, all the kicking and the punching and that. And I didn't buy this at all because it was £3 in the Primark sale. So yeah,
There you go.
big up them fighters and that. Yeah,
I
good.
love all the fighting and that.
Lads,
There you go.
lads. Yeah,
He's got so many LA Lakers t-shirts from Primark. Chicago
mate.
Bulls.
All of them. If it's under a fiver, I'm having it.
Do you know NBA was a massive thing in the 90s, wasn't it? I just remember Chicago Bulls, Orlando Magic. Who else was there? Utah Jazz. Is that one?
Utah
Is that
Jazz,
right?
Houston Rockets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto Raptors.
Only ones I know,
remember,
the Celtics.
the Celtics. Yeah.
No, but I don't
remember
think
people-
I just thought it was like Miami Heat, Orlando, and
Channel
Chicago
4 got
Bulls.
the rights. Didn't they?
Did
Channel
they?
4 had like a spurge of sport, didn't they, in the mid-90s when they got like Football Italia, NBA. I think they got ice hockey, and then the pinnacle of every Saturday morning, Transworld Sports. Give me that kabaddi fix every Saturday morning at 8:25. Great. Channel 4 Sport, underrated.
I used to love
It was
kabaddi.
it was what Sharky and George. Then it was Liftoff, which was an Australian hotel thing that was like round the twist, and then it was Transworld Sport.
Look at Sam's face.
I think he's frozen.
These weren't around in your time, mate.
No, what Channel 4?
I'd zoned out, to be honest with you. You were talking about things from, might as well from the Victorian era. But, sorry, I thought
can't-
we were on tonight, and I'm still getting ancient history.
I'm still surprised about £2.25 for the Daily Telegraph. The Evening Telegraph.
Not the Daily
Yeah.
Telegraph.
That's cheaper,
With-
and you get
With
more.
yesterday's news.
Yeah, and you get more paper with the Daily Telegraph for your bum. There we go. So, any other ramblings we want to add? Has everyone enjoyed their beautiful day?
I feel sorry
Yeah,
for Martin
of course.
Lusty. He's ordered a takeaway and it's come cold.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
we've all been there.
Shame.
Sorry, Martin.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy. Say, they got a penalty here. They've been fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good job. You can't make the strength of that.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. The promotion train has been replaced by our rail replacement bus service. It will just take us a little longer to get there than you were originally scheduled to do. But still, get on. You know, we'll need to see your ticket. You can't just make it, can't just say you're meant to get on that train. We need to see proof. And we'll be along to Wimbledon any moment. Blundell Park is a sellout for next week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about our draw against Franchise, about our little pod meetup. And we will talk about anything else coming up. If anybody wants to lip read what Harry Clifton says, then feel free to. But it looked like it was filmed on a potato, so I'm not sure how you'll be able to tell. There we go. We've got that and everything else to talk about. We've also got Gameapalooza. It's Trev Hughes v Mariner Hoddo in the first round. How many rounds are there? We don't know, but we will at some point, just like next week. We were all there at Franchise. I will kick off because I don't get to that often in the review. And I'll be honest, I was slightly disappointed in the performance. I thought we didn't create very much. I thought Hume's delivery was pretty awful for all the set pieces we had. I think the fact that they have nothing to play for and had a 41-year-old left back, as Mike reminded me, we didn't even get at him. And I don't think we had many shots on target. We didn't test their keeper. And I think Artel doesn't trust the bench because it's failed to deliver on a number of occasions now. And so he was reluctant to make changes to try and change the game. And so it kind of petered out towards the end. But every time I feel like Al Pacino. Every time I try and leave, they pull us back in. League Two is so shit that no one can get away from being kicked out of the League Two promotion chases. We throw 2-goal leads away at Harrogate and at Port Vale. We get hammered by Swindon. We've accumulated 3 points in 12, and somehow it is still in our hands. I thought Warren played all right. I thought Svan Thorson played all right in fits and starts. I thought there were times when he went a little bit missing. I thought Abiku created stuff and tried stuff. But other than that, I thought everyone was kind of null and void, and they were cancelled out by a Milton Keynes team who were saying goodbye to the big boss level of soulless football, who can, spend how many games? 900 games in a place like that and go, this after 450, are you not going, do you know what? This is it's like playing football in an Asda. Maybe I should go and try something different. But there we go. He liked it. Loves a bit of a he's the sort of person that doesn't mind a self-checkout. And also scans his ticket when he leaves. When they make you prove that you've bought something instead of just smashing the barriers open like I do when I'm I think you can't have it both ways. I think that's the sort of person they are. Anyway, Mike, I've rambled. What were your thoughts?
I wouldn't really come to me if you wanted to stop the rambling. I wouldn't quite go as far as you. I think we were okay. I think we just lacked that cutting edge. Everything was okay up until the final third again, which is something that we experienced in the start of the season. I think we got a lot of balls into the box, a lot of play in the right areas, but just didn't create that chance in the box. Second half, I think 5 or 6 decent crosses we get in. It's just over the man, or it's to the front post, not the far post. And we just missed those chances. I'd agree with Svan Thorson. I think he was probably our best player. I think he had times in the game, as you said, where he wasn't involved, but I don't think that's his fault. I think we didn't utilise our assets as best we could. I don't think Vernon in the first half had enough of the ball or enough space. I think Warren had a good game. The problem I have, and this is an ultra criticism linked into the Vernon thing, is I think he's very reluctant to turn out onto his left foot. And he cuts a lot of the pitch off when we've got the ball at the back and you're looking to feed Vernon, maybe.
Are you saying we've got the same problem that England had at the Euros?
Well, we've got a manager that wants to go for it. So
just
no,
play Anthony Gordon, David.
But it's only because I noticed it a few times that, he comes back. He had a fantastic performance defensively and he's been really, really good. The only problem I have is that reluctance maybe to turn onto his left foot and put a ball in down that channel. It sort of cuts a lot of the pitch off when you've got the ball at the back. It narrows the area you're playing in. So that's an issue. And I think that maybe fed into the fact Vernon didn't get as much as the ball as he maybe should have done. I think that was the same with Svan Thorson. But Svan Thorson's first touch and close control at times is of a level I've not seen for a long time in a winger. And if you had him up to speed for the entire season and a fit Charles Vernon for all of the season, I could only imagine what they could do. Playing the way they can play. But I think at the end, I think it was a decent point on reflection because I don't think it changes much. I know Youngie's probably got all the connotations for us later, but I don't think it really changes anything. If we'd lost that game, it's not in our hands anymore. So we could have been better. We probably should have won that, but we didn't. But we didn't lose it. And it leaves it in our hands all for Saturday now, where Wimbledon have got to come and play for a point. And if you'd given me or any reasonable thinking town fan the opportunity of going into the last game and winning you in the playoffs, would have taken it in August, would have taken it in March, and would have taken it every month in between. So disappointing, but bigger picture, we carry on and we'll just leave it to the last day of the season at home.
Youngie, have you seen how the Wimbledon fans are on social media? If David Artell thinks we're negative, maybe you should pop down to SW19 and have a quick look at their pages, because there is not a happy chappy anywhere within St. George's Hospital. I guess that's closest. Remit. There we go. What were your thoughts on yesterday?
Well, just going back on to that first point, Alex, I think that what would you rather be? Would you rather be the team that nobody thought kind of could do it and going into the last game need a win, or the team that thought, oh, we're probably got a really good chance of automatic promotion, and suddenly going into the last game might be now sweating whether you get in the playoffs. I'd rather be us in that situation, I think.
They made loads of money from is it El Mohammadi? No,
Yes.
Is that right? Someone like that.
Yeah.
And they made a load of cash from him. Where did he go? Was it Villa or somewhere stupid?
Ipswich, I think, and then
Oh,
he's
there you go.
been
Ipswich,
loaned out to Stoke.
Ipswich.
Yeah, I think he's on. Yeah, Ipswich. He's now gone to Stoke. But onto the game itself, I thought in the first half, the midfield just couldn't get hold of the ball. It was probably the worst I've seen McCracken play for us for a long while. It just didn't see him into the game at all. Kept losing 50-50s. There was several. I think there was about 2 or 3 times where he lost the ball in the middle of the park, which all ended in counter attacks for them and decent chances. That one where Eastwood tipped over the bar was originally from McCracken losing a 50-50. Second half, a Bitcoin coming on made a big difference. I thought it gave us a bit of an outlet, gave us a bit of a target to play with, and more, especially that last half an hour, we were the team in the ascendancy without perhaps creating too much. It was because I knew the permutations. I was kind of shouting to everyone to calm down a little bit, but I think when we had a corner in the
You needed to shout louder. I couldn't hear you.
I know.
And you know I'd be the one that needed it most.
Yeah. There's people in front of me like, get the keeper forward. Like, we don't need to. We just don't need to lose at this point. So I was a little bit more kind of, how can I put it, like reserved than everybody else in that, I guess. But it's one of them performances where nobody was bad, but I don't think nobody was particularly good either. It was just if we were a team in the lower half of the table and we'd gone to Milton Keynes and got a point, you would have gone, yeah, that's a decent performance and a good point. But because our standards are a little bit higher now, we're probably a little bit disappointed in certain things. But I certainly agree with you on the set piece situation. And the set pieces, ain't just yesterday, the set pieces haven't been great for a while. Our corners barely kind of hit. It's very rare that we get anything from corner. I think that Kieran Green goal against Morecambe was an exception rather than a rule. Our biggest threat looks from Doug Farm's throw-ins more than they do any of our free kicks at the moment, and it all got summed up from that corner we had right on that free kick we had right on the edge of the box, and we decided to square it to McCracken instead of like getting it into the box. When I think McCracken was telling him to get, I saw McCracken going like zip it in, and he decided to go short instead. So I think that kind of summed it up really. So not a great performance, not a bad performance, but it sets us up for next week, and that's the main thing.
Sam, I'm going to try and do an allegory, and I know you like when I try these sort of things, but that sort of performance felt like one we've seen when we were sort of around the relegation area, where we performed fine. We would come away losing 1-0 and go, actually, we were no worse or no better than that team. But it felt until Ibiku came on, no one really was trying to make anything happen. They were trying to watch the game rather than trying to create the game and trying to create things for us. What were your thoughts? And do you agree with that? Because I know I always like hearing your thoughts on that sort of stuff.
I think I agree with the other two lads rather than you. I didn't think we played badly yesterday. I'm not saying it was a great performance by any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, I think if Evan Curry finishes that chance in stoppage time when he's 8 or 9 yards out, free, he buries that. I think we're talking about a really professional dugout away performance at a critical time of the season. You're absolutely right. It wasn't a world-class performance by any stretch of the imagination, but it was okay. I thought in the second half in particular, Svan Jorsen got loads of joy down the right-hand side. But to say that sort of like my dad described it as a 55-45 game, which I think was probably about right, to be honest with you. So I see what you mean about comparison to relegation. So we had a lot of games like that last season, didn't we? Or actually, maybe.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to say is when people think relegation, they think dog shit. But what I've always thought in the last few seasons, when we've been there or thereabouts, is actually we've come away from games and we've gone, actually, we lost that 1-0, we competed with them for 85 minutes, and then they took their one chance. And as long as we can find that one person that can make that pass or create that opportunity, we'll be absolutely fine. And it just felt like people were waiting for things to happen. Probably nerves, probably a little bit of anxiousness, but it did feel like people were waiting for things to happen, which I think is something I used to see under Paul Hurst quite a lot, rather than when Abiku came on, was immediately trying to make things happen by running at players. He did that little bit where he flicked the ball over two guys and was immediately through and then got taken down. Those sort of things I wasn't seeing in the first half. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's what my thought process was.
Just, you said, actually, it's funny you mentioned Hurst, because actually it reminded me
We don't need to mention him all the time, though.
Given what you said, of the sort of crap run in the conference, in terms of played okay, matched them most of the game, came out on the wrong side of the result. But yesterday we didn't come out on the wrong side of the result. We came on, and actually, as Youngie pointed out, it was, and Mike said, it's a decent result because it means win next week and jobs are good. Well, jobs are good in terms of getting into the playoffs. I mean, we can talk about the permutations afterwards. Mark Walters been a bit harsh here in the comments. Curry was never scoring. That's Curry. Nothing against leg, but he can miss a broadside of a shed from one place, on pace with a nuke. Thinking, you did miss his great finish at Colchester a few weeks ago. I thought maybe that's an element of his game he'd improved. But obviously you wish it had fallen to Rose, or you wish it had fallen to, well, Rose. But it fell to Curry, and I thought it was a decent chance. But I just agree with what you're saying about just take the situation. The pressure's not on us next week. I really hope if we draw next week, or we lose next week, and there's no real it would totally surprise me if we drew next week and Colchester and Salford lost, and therefore we got into the playoffs by default. That wouldn't actually be that surprising a scenario, given how this league's gone. But it's mind to sort of hold a bit of perspective, to be honest with you. I said to the guys, yes, I've enjoyed watching Town this season more than any other, given that it's not like the conference.
Yeah, but you've got such a low bar. When did you start supporting Town?
6, 7, that sort of time.
You're literally the curse. You're the reason we're down it.
I was born in '99, so the season after the
there we go.
The Wembley double.
And it was all downhill from there.
Yes. Anyway, I'll talk for a long time. Let's let someone else have a go.
Mike is desperate. Go on, Mike.
No, I just got to follow on from what Sam was saying. Because I think it's difficult to be too critical, because I come from a school where I never think a point away from home is a bad point in this division. So I still think it was a good result. I think the problem in the first half, I mentioned to the people I stood with, is I don't think MK Dons really wanted to come out and do anything. I think we struggled with that a little bit. I don't think they wanted to press, and we wanted them to press a little bit, and then we've got the space in the middle of the park to play through them, and they just weren't interested in that for a big part of the game. So we've sort of had to try to adapt to that, and we've put a lot of balls into the box. It's just that it's that final chance that we was missing. I don't think it was anything else wrong other than we just didn't have that clinical nature yesterday. We've had it lots. We've won games with one chance. We've scored it. Wimbledon away, Gillingham. We don't have to repeat them all, but there's so many examples. And just yesterday, we just didn't have that. But we stayed in the race. We played well, just in that final third. And it's all on Saturday. No pressure on us. It's all on Wimbledon. They've got a really tough game. And nothing changes. If we had have won yesterday, we'd still have had to win on Saturday, I'm pretty sure. Because I still think Chesterfield probably win. And that would mean we would definitely have to win. So I don't think it changes anything at all.
And also, not to mention, me and you have been going back and forth. I said 4 points would do it, and I'll be right if that comes off. And so there we go. Youngie.
No, you said would definitely do it mathematically.
Yeah, true.
If Colchester had won yesterday, 4 points wouldn't have done it mathematically.
Yeah, but they didn't. So, Youngie.
I'm just going to go back onto your point about the substitutes. Mark Ekran and Green looked absolutely knackered after about 75-80 minutes yesterday. Both of them were cramping up.
McEachran did, didn't
kind of like slowing down. And McEachran did, yeah, absolutely. So did McEachran. All of them did. But I get Artel coming out and saying, well, I didn't put midfielders on the bench because I wanted more attacking options. I think that has to change on Saturday, because we can't be. you're almost carrying players at that point when they're so tired and you try and get them through for the rest of the game. We've got to have a midfield option on the bench, and because this has been the same all season. So he maybe, I don't know whether it's a case of he doesn't trust Tory to come on and do a job, or he doesn't trust Thompson, thinks Thompson's legs have gone. But surely, for the sake of 10 minutes for the professional job, a fit Curtis Thompson is better than Green absolutely dying at that point.
I don't understand how. Sorry, Sam.
You'd say that instinctively, wouldn't you? But I'd say in the past few, certainly against Port Vale and Harrogate, you noticed a sort of instant drop off when a knackered Kieran Green and a knackered George McEachran were brought off for a fit Callum Ainley and Curtis Thompson or Luke Barrington or whatever it is. So I kind of see your point. Instinctively, you think it's true, but the sort of the recent history goes against that.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I don't understand how a midfielder is seen as a non-attacking substitution. To attack a game, you have to have the ball, and you generally get control of a game from midfield. And if you don't have control of the game, like we didn't, I mean, I spent longer than I care to admit saying we should try and bring Davis on yesterday for Green to bring a bit of control into the game if we can, and not realising he wasn't on the bench because I hadn't seen the team. But if you can't control a game, you can't attack. So I don't understand that. But I think what you're saying, Sam, is, but we had gone from, we were at a high level performing well, and then dropped low when we made the subs. Now, firstly, Barrington isn't a midfielder. Unless it's urgent and desperate, I don't want to see him in central midfield because that's not his position. And I think it's a bit harsh to be judging him. That's all we had on the pitch, but that's all we had on the bench. But that's not his position. I would say yesterday it was probably worth the gamble, but then also, is it? Because if you lose, then it's out your hands. So it's a tricky one. I think after 75 minutes, I turned around to somebody and said, look, I think I'd probably take a draw now. Looking at where everything's going, I said, I'd probably take this if you gave me it now.
It was way more important we didn't lose yesterday than we won. Like the difference in circumstance between winning and drawing was way smaller than the difference between drawing and like we're relying on two teams cocking up next week if we won. So yeah.
I think it's just the thing, we're not ready. We are pre-baked promotion. And you can tell it lost us the win at Port Vale because they could bring on players that could change the game. We just don't have that. Ainley is a body. He's one of those forgettable midfielders that we've had 300 of them where, all right, but 6 out of 10. Thompson has fallen off a cliff and I think he's still falling. I just try and imagine we're trying to walk up Everest and you've got so many passengers on your back. You've got Pike, you've got Wilson, you've got Davis injured, Verdham's been injured for quite a lot of this season. You've got Ainley as well, who hasn't really done anything. Thompson, you've got so many players on your back having to try and get yourself to promotion, including what you've got to come up against in terms of who's in front of you. So get that sort of stuff out of the way next year. Whatever happens, we're going to be a much stronger squad and a much stronger opponent to come up against. And that's the sort of stuff, if we don't go up, that I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, League One will be exactly the same, maybe just with Clive Mendonca's reincarnation there to help us along instead. Mike?
I have been a little bit... I've noticed an apprehension for him to play Burns, who we've paid money for and coming in the January window. And I thought yesterday he might have wanted to give him 10 minutes to run at somebody and see if that works. We've not really seen much of him, and that's a strange one because he's on the bench and obviously fit to be playing. I'm just wondering why he's not that keen to put him on, or it might not be keenness. He might just think whoever's there is better. But I'd like to see a bit more of him and see what he's got.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because they've obviously bought him for a reason. Same with Tory as well, playing more bit parts because he looked half tidy when he's been on at times. But I don't think he's got the trust in the bench at the moment. I think the Port Vale game and Harrogate games have gone, look, I can't trust those coming off the bench because we keep buggering up. So I'm going to have to flog a dead horse. But it was interesting. I can't believe it's still in our hands. Any town fan that keeps coming to me and telling me we're unlucky, we never have the rub of the green. This is the rub of the green. You are so green, we look like Kermit, because losing 2 games where you're 2-0 up and not taking the win, and getting hammered by Swindon 4-0. You've got Milton Keynes, who are giving you such a gimme, going, here is a 41-year-old left back. Run at him all day long if you like, and see what will happen, because he's played 6 games all season. And you're still in it even when you can't beat them. That's our luck. All of the luck is being thrown into that. That Sutton game last season with the lino being a prick, this is the luck that we got from having to deal with him. Yes, Youngie.
I genuinely thought, when I looked at the defence at one point in the second half, that we were suddenly transported to Soccer Aid. It looked like one of the ex-pros who's been given a shirt. The belly was hanging out the bottom. He kind of limping around, and I was like, "Oh, here we are. Where's Mark Wright from Towie? He must be here somewhere." But no, it was a genuine professional football game. Unreal.
It was. Firstly, I saw the lino clapping him off. And then I also saw lots of franchise fans getting very annoyed that Grimsby fans weren't going to clap him off. No, he's not getting a clap. Absolutely not. You do know people don't like you. Yeah, we do not like you. You are an awful football club. I don't like Stevenage that much and a couple of others, but you are below that in terms of where you are. Yes, Mike.
No, I was doing the level hand gesture. Sorry.
Yeah,
do you think this is news to them that they're not liked? Do you think they've not realised it yet? Like, you're detested, right? We're not. I thought it's the most damn thing. Yeah,
and you took John's Harry Haddock off him.
Well, if you didn't think there's a reason enough to hate MK Dons, there's another. But I thought it was the most Grimsby thing ever, and I loved it. Lewitton comes out with his family, and everybody's booing him and his family.
It's off, and you ginger kids.
On the MK Dons forum that got posted on Twitter, lack of class from the Grimsby fans. Class? You stole a fucking football club. Talk to us about class.
Thieving bastard.
Yeah, they shouldn't agree. And did you know what? Every time they try and entice me, they try and seduce me. Go, look at this stadium. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it? You get a proper seat and everything. It's got feels like it's got cushion on, but it doesn't. But no, just no. I feel sorry for that stadium. It's married beneath itself.
They've got personal stewards as well. Mark that went with us, he had his own personal steward keeping an eye on him the entire game.
Yeah, I could imagine Mark would have a personal steward, actually. It's like,
that's your warning. Then he got a yeller and he said one more. And
amazing.
Oh, Mike, can I ask you about Mark at one point? If he's listening to this, I really want to know the answer. But behind us, there was a young kid who started giving the "give me a G," and he was doing really well. He go, "Give me a Y," and he had the bit going. And when it comes to "what have you got," Mark cut him off and went, "What have you fucking got?" Cut the kid off. I was like, that is such heel behaviour.
This was my chant. My chant. I did this. I might have sounded like a 9-year-old, but it was my chant. It's Charlie really enjoyed it. Him and John's kid were absolutely going for it, effing and blinding. There was a couple of mums that looked around every now and then. He loves it. His rule is he can swear as much as he wants in the football ground, and he takes full advantage of that. But yeah, it was great. And Simon Hodson saying the steward was wearing orange. Clearly, you can tell how soulless Milton Keynes fans are, because they all came dressed as stewards. Their heroes at that ground are the people in authority. And that tells you what they're like. That's why they were all wearing orange shirts yesterday. Either that or they're like Max Verstappen, which is even worse.
I can't remember if it was like this. I've only been twice. Once was yesterday, once was when it first opened. I can't remember if the entire complex, because it was a night game, and I can't really remember, was like that. But it's a really good setup there. It's just a shame it's waste on them. I like the location. I like what it's got in and around it. It's a shame you wouldn't be able to do that nowadays with building costs and enabling developments and stuff. So we've probably missed the boat on that. But I like what they've done with that. That would be the sort of thing I'd have wanted us to do. Obviously not a 30,000 seater stadium, but
just have the
shame it's
bowl.
wasted on them. Yeah,
just have a bottom bowl and put it in Freeman Street. That's the only thing it's missing, is a decent
and a crazy golf
and being put in Freeman Street. Yeah, yeah, that game against Sutton could have done with everyone queuing for Crazy Golf instead of having to watch it. Anything else we've got? Because we've got Gameapalooza coming up in a moment. We've got enough time. We've got 5 minutes. Harry Clifton got promoted with Doncaster Rovers, has found himself in a bit of shit because people think he's singing He Hates Grimsby. Others are very adamant from the 1996 video recording everyone's got of him that he doesn't say Grimsby. I couldn't really give a fuck. He's on his way. If he did say Grimsby, it's going to be an awkward wedding. But other than that, I don't care. Any thoughts on it from anyone?
Who cares? And he said Scunthorpe.
See, Mike says Scunthorpe. Enhance. Oh,
it's
that image on Futurama when Zach Brannigan says enhance and the picture just becomes more pixelated. It's like, well, make it clear. It's like, that's not how it works. We can just crop it.
The only way to solve this is that what we have to do is we have to take him to Blundell Park, blindfold him at the centre circle, and you have to put a piece of cod and a piece of haddock in front of him. Now, if he says cod is the better fish, that is it. Public stoning, hang him off the top of the dock tower, and that's it. His Grimsby card is officially revoked. However, if he gets the haddock, we know he was telling the truth. Shake his hand, jobs are good, and we all move on.
We need a bit of Witchfinder General going on.
I just like this idea as you're driving on the M180, Harry Clifton's in one of those metal cages that they'd put pirates in, and it says Yorkies beware as you drive in.
Do you think half the people that are getting upset are probably the people that were giving him absolute pelters last season for no real reason?
Yes, 100%.
Remember some of the pelters he's getting? It's always funny football, isn't it? We're probably all guilty of it, but it always goes one way, doesn't it? He didn't say Grimsby, but
I'm going to say, I thought he definitely said Grimsby. He clearly said it. He enunciated it as well. He looked around. He told everyone to be quiet, and he said Grimsby. And he even, do you know what he even said? He said, "Those fucking codheads." That's what he said. I take it from me. I'm the man in the know. He said, "Those codheads, they're done." And do you know what? None's up. Not even that nice.
Well, there's lots of things we'll put up with, but don't be saying stuff like that.
Oliver Johnson says he rattled me last night, but this morning I couldn't care less. And isn't that a Harry Clifton performance?
He was at the end of it. What you didn't see when he got cut off was he was going, "Tommy Turgoose, John Hurt, your boys took a hell of a beating."
I don't even like. Fuck you, Alan Buckley. He's got tattooed across his chest now. By the way, when you're listening in and you're doing this live, can you put in ideas for what you want the pod title to be? Because it's a nice way of saying we want you to be engaged with the podcast, but also I can't be asked to ask for an idea of a title. And when I ask these charlatans what I should call it, usually it's at 10:30 at night and I get no fucking response. So if you could do it, it would be really appreciated. So any ideas you want for the title, please throw them in the chat on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the Twitch thing.
I mean, I was going to say, you say it's because you want to engage with people, but before you said that, I think everybody that's ever listened to this or been involved with it knows you by now, Alex, and knows that you need no reason or no excuse to avoid doing something.
How rude! You were even being nice. You're such a
no, don't drop the facade. Don't drop the facade.
You're just a turncoat. Ew. What did he send me? Personal message. Are you anything you need me? Are we having Mark on for the game thing? No, mate. It'll be Trevor and Marina Hodo today. Is it Mark next week? Anything you need me to do? I don't think so. Okay, just conscious. It all gets left to you.
So he's dropping a facade now,
this is what he's like in private people. Then on public. The only thing I do worry about is people are very nice to me about the podcast, and they're very kind. And I think I'm on a spectrum because when they start being nice to me, I'll just go, "Oh, thank you, Miss Patterson," and just wander off into a car. Can I have a jam sandwich, please? So I'm not being rude. I'm just slightly on the spectrum, and I don't know how to answer it. There we go. Anything for any more? Oh, let's do the other one. Artell, we've got 3 minutes. David Artell keeps saying, if you've got negative opinions, don't come along. I mean, Dave, it's sold out anyway, so they can't get there anyway. But
no, bad news.
He said it twice now. It's hankering him. And Sam, I'm looking at you. I'm apportioning blame to you and your main stand rallying crew who just slag him off every week. Is do you feel personally responsible because he's clearly hurt by it?
Well, what I would say, this is very controversial. What I'm going to say is, it's obviously I think that's a reference to how probably more last season it got to him more than anybody else, got to him more than he let on. Hurst alluded to it. Other managers have alluded to it.
What's that?
It's obviously us that are the
Sorry,
problem.
Mike's showing something, Sam, and I can't see it. It looks like he's broken his phone screen. Okay, you keep going. Okay, just send me the link, Mike. I'll put it on.
As
the
if you
thing so
don't like
people
it,
can hear
don't fucking come.
I'll be honest, it's not the rallying cry I was expecting.
So, but I'll tell you a little bit. There are some idiosyncrasies, aren't there? And I think this is probably one manifestation of that. But I think it was intended as a rallying cry, but it comes across as certainly like, well, if you've got a negativity, don't come. And he's got some stick from the main stand. I've seen him and I've heard, and from people who I know are sitting there, obviously, him getting dogs abuse at the end of home games. Now, admittedly, some of the home performances have been substandard, to say the least. But honestly, it's a Grimsby Town issue, and some of our fans behave abominably. I mean, there were occasions yesterday when I heard people moan and groaning around me when we misplaced a pass, or Warren played it back to Rodgers rather than straight forward, and all that sort of. I just think that's just not helping anybody, and that's what he's talking about. So I'm not. I'll get stick for this. I don't care. Like, I know you pay your money. I know you work hard to go and do it, but it doesn't give you a right to just kind of basically antagonise the team at every juncture. And I think Artel's well within his rights to have a go back at it, frankly. So I've ranted there. I'll let.
No, that's fine. I don't. It's a shame, but look, I think I'm quite negative at times. If you haven't noticed,
no, we haven't.
It does come from a place of love. I'm the strict father that when they die at the end, go, and there's some sort of piece of knowledge. Oh, actually, he really loved me and he really set me up for life, and he was an incredible man. But it's too late to tell me it because I'm already dead.
We found this scrapbook he's kept of everything I've ever done.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind him saying it, and he's absolutely within his rights. But he has said it twice, and there is a better way of saying that, which is, we just need you. We need every single one of you. If you want this to happen, if you want to make this happen, I need you all to be at your most optimistic and positive and give 110%. Say it once and then say that the second time. Or am I being too churlish?
It doesn't work.
And he's wrong. He's wrong at all. Don't pack the park. Don't have it full.
Yeah,
we behind closed doors next week.
Please do not go to the game.
Season ticket holders only. No, season ticket holders only. Then you and I.
No, it's not even season ticket holders. It's season ticket holders. You're allowed in for 30 minutes. You're going to be allocated a number. Number one, you go in for the first 30 minutes. Number two, then you go in halfway through. We'll give that to the fatties who need something from halftime food. And then at the third bit, we'll give it to the most optimistic ones and the most athletic, so that when we do win promotion with 2,000 people in the ground, they can run on the pitch and it looks very happy. And the most photogenic, because they're the pictures that are going to be put on Sky News for 30 seconds while they're talking about who Wrexham are going to be playing in the Championship. That's how we've got to do it. So you'll get a whistle and then you've all got to leave. And we've got to be quick on it. We've got to be quick, people. Disciplined. 2,000 at most in the ground.
He's absolutely right to do it. And we've got to remember, he's talking obviously about a small proportion of people that go to games. But can you imagine if we go 1-0 down from a massive mistake in 5 minutes, there will be a certain proportion next week that we do not need to react the way some fans react. And I think it is general in football. I don't think it's specific for us, but we don't need that. I don't think it's controversial to say you have no complaints as a Grimsby Town supporter with anything that's happened on the pitch this season. So if we fuck something up in a game on Saturday, right, we've had a good season, we've progressed, and things have gone well. There's nothing to be pissed off for. We're not 21st and not winning 7 or 8 games. So I think he's quite right to do it. He's talking about a small minority of people. But if you want to go and moan when something doesn't go right, don't go. Let the people that want to go and see what happens.
Come on the pod. We've got loads of space. We've got loads of content. Yeah. Sam, we can kick him off. If you've got better thought process, better audio, you can come on in place of him. We'll give him the first 20 minutes and then you can have the rest.
It is obviously a problem, though, because he's mentioned it twice. And he mentioned it when he was with us.
That's what I mean.
So he's not saying it for the sake of saying it. I think he knows full well that there is a section
Oh.
and it affects the.
Mike's getting serious. He's getting proper Yorkie.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I think. Sorry. I think he knows full well that there is a section of the fans that would do that, and he's experienced it. So that's why he knows it's a problem. He's not just made it up out of the thin air. He stands there and listens to it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just going to add to that as well.
Sorry.
And it happened yesterday. Sorry, happened yesterday as well. Is that I'm getting a bit fed up of the amount of people, even if we are winning, who do not stay behind, who do not stay behind at the end and clap. Like yesterday, final whistle goes, loads of people screaming out straight away. Like, I know if you're disappointed in the result, fair enough. But what I'm not having that. It don't need to happen. It happens at home all the time. We're winning 1-0 with in the 88th minute, and suddenly like half the finders is disappearing. Like, come on, these lads have played so bloody well this season. Doesn't hurt you just to stay behind for a few minutes and fucking clap them, for God's sake.
And can I say, yesterday especially, I think that was that's going to be an underrated moment, because they came over and I would imagine they weren't aware of what the issues were and what was going on. And town fans stayed, the ones that stayed, because in front of us, they all fucked off. And by the way, also, sorry about this. I'm sorry, Trev, and I'm sorry, Hoddo, because you're both there. Also, away game. Don't come at me and tell me I'm in your fucking seat. Fuck off, you day trippers. Go find a seat somewhere else. Unreserved seating. Get on with it. What's wrong with you all, you bloody weirdos? Anyway.
More woke nonsense.
Yeah, woke nonsense. I should have
elevators.
shouted that at people. But there was a bit where we were clapping them for 5-10 minutes, singing at them. And I genuinely, not too dissimilar to when we did it at Brighton, I thought I felt the players physically grow a little bit from it. And I don't know if that is what also prompted Artell to say it in a positive way, saying, actually, this does have a positive effect if you stick behind and you are there.
Because they looked absolutely. I commented to, I think I even said to you, Youngie, that they look so down. And I'm like, why you? I don't understand it. And it sort of needed the fans to sort of.
Because they didn't have 5G like I didn't. I had no fucking clue what I'd done. I thought we'd fucked it.
But they were devastating. They looked like that was it. End of the season. They're just, some of them are on the knees because they've put a lot into the game. But you know, people like Doug and Will and Danny Rose were looking like absolutely heartbroken. And it's sort of, there was a minute where those. All right.
No, I was just telling you to wrap up your point.
I was, but carry on.
Oh, sorry. No, that's all right. Don't do that. Oh, I feel shit. No, I don't. Anyway, Gameapalooza. I can't believe that's the most professional we've ever sounded for 30 seconds. Docs Fest have kindly given us 2 tickets to give away. We don't have any stashed away in the back for us, unfortunately. But we are going to be going through stages. How many stages? We don't know yet. It's getting a bit like FIFA. But this could be a semi-final or a quarter-final. We are joined by the Mariner Mariachi himself, Trev Hewson, who is somewhere near Slough. So already he's on the back foot. How are you doing, Trev?
I'm all right. I just feel dirty being this far south, to be honest, Alex.
Oh well, you're a still dirty northern bastard to me, being all the way up there in Slough. I should have really gone with what's your name and where do you come from?
You should really. You let yourself down again.
Do you know what? This is why I need to pass over to Youngie. Youngie, do you know what? I'm going to pass over to you, and you can do this bit, and I'll just do the producing in the background.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to our first game in a series of games, hopefully, that will end up with a winner winning tickets to Docs Fest 2025. A lineup that features the Charlatans, Ash, Maximo Park, Corella, and many, many more. Tickets available now. ctickets.com. VIP option also available. Okay. Thank you for Docs Fest for sponsoring this game. All right. So we've got Mariner Hoddo. Hello, Hoddo. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. Still not over Saturday. That was very nerve-wracking, but apart from that, I'm all good.
Was you in the crowd on Saturday, or was you pitch side?
I was pitch side, so it was a lot more nerve-wracking. Watched it even closer.
I don't know if you know the players personally yourself, but do you feel there's a good mood amongst them? Do you think that by Saturday they'll pick themselves up and will be up for it?
I mean, I speak to some of them, but nothing like too much. They're normally quite professional, keep everything to themselves, but there's no real bad mood in the change room at all. They all seem up for it and they know what the task is at hand on Saturday.
Lovely old job. All right, so first game we're going to play then. Today's game is the numbers game. We have got 3 best of 3 over the rounds. Okay, so just to explain, squad numbers were introduced into the Football League in the 2000-2001 season. Basically, I'm going to give you a number in our squad, and basically you need to tell me how many players that you know that held that squad number. It is simply a game. Oh, hi, Mike. It's a game of elimination. So if Trev will go first, we'll go age over beauty. And if Trev gets one right, Hoddo gets one wrong, Trev wins the first game. And if Hoddo gets it right, then Trev has to go to get himself, he'll keep himself in. All right. So the first squad number we are going for today is number 6. So I'm looking for all the players that have held the number 6 shirt since 2000, 2001 to the present day. Start with you, Trev.
Let's go Curtis Thompson then. That's to get an easy one out of the way.
Yeah, Curtis Thompson, the current number 6.
I'm going to go Danny Collins.
Danny Collins, great shout. 17-18 and 18-19. Trev.
Waterfall.
Luke Waterfall, correct. 90. He's the longest serving under that shirt. He had 4 seasons under it. 9 from the 1920 season to the 23-24 season. Oh, I should have told there's 15 in total. So you've got 3 of the 15 so far.
Josh Gowling.
Josh Gowling, great shout. 15, 16, 16, 17, correct.
Deputy Doig.
Deputy Doig. Oh, that's an excellent shout. Yeah. The 13-14 season to stay in.
I'm running lower. I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and say Nathan Pond. I knew he was a centre half.
Nathan Pond is unfortunately incorrect. Mike, yes.
No, I was saying I think he was number 5.
He was number 5, yes, indeed. So Trev takes the first round, 1-0 to Trev. You could have had, let's have a look, you have Carl Magnay, Ian Miller, Scott Garner, Peter Sweeney, Richard Hope, Nick Fenton, Justin Whittle, Marcel Cass, Stacey Caldicott, and Wayne Burnett. Okay, so the next one, actually, to kind of for the interest of fairness, I've got a number for the potential last round. This round, okay, is to do with youth players. So in the last 10 seasons in the league, so we're not counting the EFL trophy. In the league, we have had 17 players appear that have come through the Grimsby Town Youth Academy. So starting from the 15-16 season to the present day. So I want you to name me as many of the 17 youth players who have made a Football League / National League appearance for the club. And this time we start with Hoddo.
I'll start with Matty Pollock.
Matty Pollock, yeah, absolutely correct.
Seb Orton.
Seb Orton, yeah, absolutely. This season, correct.
Evan Corey.
Evan Corey, absolutely spot on. Trev.
Max Wright.
Max Wright, yeah. Yeah. He was the 3rd on the list.
I'm going to say Harry Clifton.
Yeah, 100%. Harry Clifton made his debut in the 15-16 season.
He's fine. He said Scunthorpe. He definitely said Scunthorpe.
He definitely said Scunthorpe.
He definitely did. I'm playing for time here because I'm struggling with this one. I don't know if he played a league game. The one I've got, I'm not sure he played a league game or not. I've got 2. Pringle.
Pringle. Oh, no, Pringle. I've not got Pringle on my list. So the list is as so Hoddo wins that round. So the list that I've got as followed is Josh Venny, Harry Clifton, Max Wright, Roman Burrell made an appearance for us. He's now tearing up at Burton. Matty Pollock, Joe Starbuck, Evan Corey, Duncan Idahan, Louis Adlard, Louis Boyd, the 15-year-old, because he made an appearance in the league game. Yeah, he played in the league game after he scored. Yeah, he came off the bench at Walsall. Ollie Battersby, Jamie Bramwell, Edwin Essel, Aaron Brathwaite, Cameron Gardner, quite recently, and also quite recently as well, Henry Brown made his debut a few games ago, didn't he? So there you go. So the final round then, we go back to the numbers, okay? And the number we're looking for is the number 11 shirt. The number 11 shirt. So Trev starts this final round. So name me everybody who has had the squad number 11.
Svan Thorson.
Svan Thorson is correct.
I want to go a bit old. I'm going to say Andy Monkhouse.
Andy Monkhouse. Oh, yeah, great shout. 15-16 season. That at the time where all we did was just try and pass it to Monkhouse to see if we could create anything. Yeah. Yeah, just straight to Monkhouse. Trev.
Scannell.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Scannell, yeah, had it for 2 seasons, 2021, 21-22.
What's his name? I can picture him in my head, but I forgot his name. Did Martin Wolford wear 11?
Martin Wolford is not on the list. So, Trev, this is a chance to steal, not steal, but, win the game. So, Trev, can you name me a number 11?
Oh, I was going to give you a horrible one, but I'll give you an easy one, and then I'll tell you the horrible one. Otis Khan is the all right one.
God.
Otis Khan.
Even worse is that he's just rubbing it in now, Owen.
So 22, 23, 23, 24. What was the horrible one you were going to go for?
Beagrie.
Beagrie, yeah, Beagrie is on the list, absolutely. So the list consists of Paul Groves, Terry Cook, Stacey Caldicott, Andy Parkinson, Peter Beagrie, Anthony Poulis, Danny Boschel, Michael Coulson, Frankie Artis, Scott Nielsen, Andy Monkhouse, Reese Brown, remember him?
My God.
Sam Kelly, who barely ever played, Jordan Cook, Sean Scannell, Otis Khan, and Yasin Daddy Svan Thornton. Congratulations, Trev. You are through to the next round. Round of applause, everybody.
Everybody. Well, don't worry.
Sorry, Hoddo. You're not going to see old man's bands anyway, Hoddo.
Well,
you're a young lad.
Here we go, Owen. Will, if you need somebody to do some sort of on-site recording, I'm sure we can find you someone who could not even have to get a free ticket, can actually be paid to attend then. Give him a call.
I'm glad you didn't ask for number 12 because Owen would just have to look behind him.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed about Reese Brown.
Actually, hang on a minute.
I did say to them earlier that you're probably not alive.
Hey? What was that?
He was threatening you. Try again, Mike.
No, I said to them earlier when we said these are the games. I said, Owen might not have been alive when some of these players were playing.
Yeah, there's some before the time I even started watching.
Yeah, but in our defence, I can't remember Sam Kelly. I was absolutely not alive during those 90 minutes that he'd be bothered to perform.
I'm feeling at Reese Brown. I had him on my shirt.
Did you really?
I was a clueless town fan. I had Reese Brown on the back of a grey third shirt in the 16-17 season.
I'm really annoyed. Oh, well, gents, thank you so much for coming. Trev, actually, Owen, I would hold out because Trev's going to more exotic climates soon and he might not be able to get back on.
Make sure you give me enough notice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll find a bar.
Thank you, gents, very much. Trevor, we'll see you next time. Owen, you've got a rest. You've got a lot of cameras to set up for Saturday.
Yeah, I do.
So see you all then. See you later, gents. Thank you.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
He's doing some great work as well, isn't he?
It is, absolutely. And that was your first round of Gameapalooza. It's the only, I feel like a DJ doing a local competition. It's quite good. Right. What else have we got to talk about? Wimbledon. Blundell Park is already sold out. There is no tickets. So you will need to kill your favourite season ticket holder if you would like a ticket to get in. Or there are applications for stewards. Or there is that house that we were all looking at on here, which had a view of the Findus, which is also for sale. So for about 80 grand, you can be there, or you can take a sponsor board, and I'm sure the club will let you in for a couple of £100. There we go. I don't think Blundell Park has actually ever properly been sold out before. I don't even think it was against Spurs.
Notts Forest, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were 8.
Oh, Notts Forest, Mike.
Nottingham
Oh.
Forest.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
They're hurting enough as it is without you just saying that.
I did that last
They
time,
lose,
and
I
like
think they
20 blokes just appeared on my Twitter having a right pop. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Right,
I certainly don't remember. I certainly don't remember a game being sold out this far in advance, especially a league game. Bloody hell! This is like a week in advance, and the game sold out. It's incredible.
And everyone will be delighted to know on social media, all you're seeing is, I'm a dedicated fan. Why are these other people got tickets and I can't get a ticket, even though they've been on sale for ages? And we knew it might be important. Also, completely unrelated, if you do have a ticket, if you drop the pod a DM, that would be really appreciated. There we go. We're looking for 2, preferably in the lower.
How much you offering for my season ticket?
Absolutely fucking not. I don't want to have David Artell turning around to me and cupping his ear at me when we get promoted.
You're saying about killing your favourite season ticket holder. Does that mean Sam's going into hiding for a week?
No, I said
Yeah,
favourite season ticket holder.
He's my favourite season ticket holder.
Oh, there we go.
I'm still not giving it to you, mate. Don't even try that sweet talk on me.
You want it anyway.
Thanks, mate.
I've already slid into.
Oh shit! Sorry, youngie.
Yeah.
What about Bruce?
Oh shit! You all sit in different stands. So he's my favourite in the main. You're my favourite in the upper. Bruce in the lower. Hannah in the pond.
I've already slipped into Auntie Lunch's DMs to get her season ticket.
Sorry.
Can I categorically tell you Auntie Lunch will not be giving up her season ticket next week? I can say that.
Wait till she checks her DMs, mate.
Alex has worded it like one of them Nigerian princes that needs sending money. Thank you very much.
Explains why she texted me this afternoon saying, how do you block somebody on Twitter? So...
Oh, we can show you how to do that. That's easy. There's half of the front row at Port Vale were blocked. Anyway.
Are we looking forward to Scuddy bottling it in the playoffs again?
Well, they've already bottled everything else. Boston, though, talking about they haven't bottled it.
Amazing.
In the last 15 games, I think they've won 12, something stupid like that.
They've
incredible.
left the City style's great escape, haven't they?
Boston,
it's incredible.
Absolutely
incredible.
And they go full time next season, don't they?
Yeah.
So
Zach Mills, I saw, won their player of the season.
Yeah.
He's a good player. I like Zach Mills.
You do like a left back, don't you?
He's a right back. He was a right back.
Fine, I fucking took a guess.
He was another one with a long throw that wasn't actually that effective, but Mike likes those.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Let's all talk about Hull City, shall we?
Yes, hang on. Have we got any music for them?
Can we be careful? I've got a theory that when we laugh at Hull being crap, it inevitably leads to us being crap as well. I've seen it a number of times. I've wished Hull to lose, and we've kind of come a cropper on the back of it. It's more Sam's stupid, superstitious nonsense, but I do have a theory.
What's the theory, Sam? We're talking about Hull City.
I said it. I think they'll get out.
You told us the theory. We were messing with music.
And I also think they'll get out of it. I think they'll win at Portsmouth, and I think Preston will lose against Bristol City. because Bristol
Just
City still
think
in the
about
playoff
this,
odds,
though.
and therefore
Think
Preston
about
are going
the
to end up in
glory.
League One.
Sam, think about the glory. We're in League One. We are playing Hull City, and Radio Humberside put us on the FM frequency twice in a season.
I don't believe you. Fuck off, you dreamer. You dreamer.
Just David Burns cam.
I don't know. So I get what you're saying, but I think
that one.
I think that to go to Pompey and get a result is a big ask because yes, Pompey are safe, but their crowd will be fully behind them. They've had a good season. They've stayed up. Good atmosphere there. They will love the fact that they could relegate somebody as well. So that's not a gimme. Them going to Portsmouth is not a gimme at all.
No,
I think they're on Humberside yesterday. Their fans seemed, oh yeah, we're done. And you know they had a chance. It was a 6-pointer against Derby at home, lost out. They sounded done.
David Riley says, "Did you know every time Crystal Palace make an FA Cup final, Town get promoted?"
Oh, it's on, boys.
We're not even checking it. We're taking that as fact.
Yeah,
it's done.
Because they made the cup final in 2016 and 1990. That's absolutely spot on. Why do I know that?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember watching the Man United when they played Man United in the cup final to the day before the trophy was out in Camden. Yeah.
I love this, and I know we keep going back to League One, but Oliver Johnson has just put in the League One could be Hull, Grimsby, Huddersfield, Barnsley, Bolton, Lincoln, Bradford, and Donny, and even in Rotherham, he's missed out Rotherham, Mansfield.
Yeah,
and there's a couple of others as well.
Shall we go through the permutations?
Yes, I'm going to say we've missed out the permutations. We need like a countdown thing for youngies like Carol.
I don't have. What sort of music should I use for him? Let me
play. How old are you?
You just like how old are you though? That's the problem.
Just give the people what they want, Mike.
Give the people what they want.
How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
Yeah. Several times yesterday, I got, "Hey, Yogi, how old are you?" So even though it's not my game, but fair play.
Yeah, we had quite a few in the pub. It was quite good.
We did.
Oh, do you say also something with Bruce yesterday? We were all in the same pub, and he turned around and goes, "Does anyone need a lift?" Oh no, he doesn't say that. He goes, "How is everyone getting to the stadium?" That's what he says. And me and Youngie are there trying to work it out. Go, look, we're going to get a couple of Ubers, I think. What Bruce neglected to tell us all is that he had his car out back, and as we were going out to walk to his walk to the Uber, he had a very empty car with just him, his wife, and Maisie in with a couple of spare seats.
We had to get 3 Ubers, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
1 XL and 2 normals.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
Just like my t-shirt.
Yeah, there was three rather large gentlemen in the back of a Kia EV5 on the way.
Amazing.
It didn't make for the most comfortable journey, but we got there in the end. So okay,
my Irish goodbye then going early to come jump back in
Sam,
the back
don't sit like that.
What?
$1 million. Anyway, permutations.
So I've gone through the whole League Two permutation, so including the automatics. So here goes. Okay. So if Donny match Port Vale's result, they win the title. If Port Vale better Donny's result, they win the title. If Bradford match Warsaw's result, they are promoted. If Walsall better Bradford's result, they are promoted. If Notts County win and both Walsall and Bradford lose, they are promoted. A point will be good enough for AFC Wimbledon to make the playoffs. They will lose out if Grimsby win and one of Salford or Chesterfield win. Salford winning would secure their playoff place. A point, however, would be good enough if Grimsby, Chesterfield, or Colchester all don't win. If Colchester win, that scenario would need a 5-goal difference swing. Grimsby winning would secure their playoff place. However, a point would be good enough if Salford lose and Chesterfield and Colchester don't win. If Chesterfield win and Grimsby and Salford don't, they will make the playoffs. If Colchester win and Salford, Chesterfield and Grimsby all lose, they will make the playoffs. That is your League Two permutations.
So we just need to win.
Just
I didn't
win,
know I'd need
just
to make
win.
notes.
Yeah.
Is there a test at the end of this to see
How much did you get? Yeah. So yeah, in fact, yeah, Sam, I'll come to you. Colchester, what's their permutations?
Oh my god, I didn't know there was
think
gonna be a fucking quiz.
Colchester are about done, aren't they? They've got to win
Yeah.
and hope Hus and Salford don't. Is that
All
right?
of them, yeah, that's right. Salford, Chesterfield, and Grimsby all lose. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, so they are all the permutations. Basically, the simple for us is win.
Do I not get a question? I thought we had a new quiz going now.
Oh
No,
no, nuclear. Yeah, that was
Oh,
right.
good.
There you go.
Was there
So-
anything else we put on the little chart of things to discuss? Oh, Denver Hume making team of the season.
Yeah, well
And
done.
Kieran Green not making the list of goals of the season, which is
Yeah, that's incredible.
Oh right, that was clearly created before that goal happened, wasn't it? It was already decided. All the videos were edited. That was don't put any more in.
Well, they had to reopen ours, didn't we? Is it the players of the year? Is it player of the year tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I think it is. I think it might.
Yeah, they had to reopen our competition, didn't they? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
But don't worry, people. We do it properly. We won't be doing ours until the very end.
It should be mid-May, won't it? By the time we're finished.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tomorrow night. So let's all make our predictions, not our own opinions, but who do we think the fans have voted for player of the season?
McEachran.
I even told him off quite strongly than I meant to do in the pub for that.
What's that?
I told him off how he says McEachran, and it came across in a stronger tone than I meant it to be. It was meant to be.
But yours too. You were on one yesterday. You corrected me at least 4 times.
Yeah, well, don't be wrong.
Unlike me, we're saying 4 points was all we'd need. Yeah.
So we're all saying McEachran's going to win.
Yeah. Young player of the year. Who are we going for? Corey.
Ev.
Corey, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Corey.
Home season.
Agree.
So can I ask you something? Because I've forgotten it. Sorry, Mike. You know, when Danny Rose scored that goal, everyone's going, it's really good, but there was this goal which will win. Which one was that? Was that George McEachran's goal?
I thought it was Vernham's, wasn't it? Was it one of Vernham's? Left foot one at Chester, was it?
No, I thought the one against Colchester where he cuts inside and curls it into the top corner.
Yeah.
That might have been the one I'm thinking of, sorry.
Yeah.
Cheltenham.
I still think Danny Rose. Kieran Green's is the best goal, but Danny Rose's goal is my favourite.
Well, one at Bromley, where he like scoops it. Yeah. And it was against Bromley, which is why you like it.
No, I just love the inventiveness of it. What I didn't like was the idea that I covered the entire away end in our stickers to only find out that it's the last time it's ever been used and it's been demolished on the Tuesday.
You know, you were saying about player of the season. I was on a train with 3 people yesterday, all of which thought it should be Greeny, not McEachran.
Oh, really?
What?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a bit for the at the match thing. We was discussing it, and they were all wrong, and I was right. But I think there's a bit more split than we think.
I voted for Denver as our player of the season, which is, I mean, I don't think Denver will win, but what's wrong?
Well, he's the best left back in League Two, according to the player of the season, so the team of the year. So
can't put the ball in the back of the net though.
Brilliant attacking fullback who can run the game from fullback who can't defend and who's going to sod off at the end of the season. Sorry, I've got to be consistent on these things.
Yeah, Sam is giddy because his fake team won the league.
His fake team won the league. It was great.
Look, if you like that TV show, Sam, that's fine. But the Premier League is on its 10th season now, and it's getting predictable. Or 20th season, it's getting predictable.
The fact that with 4 games to go, the only thing they've got going for them is European places. That's boring, isn't it? That's really boring.
What you want is National League South, where everybody can get promoted.
Sorry, for Gateshead fans, you've got to go to Truro next season. They might
Carlisle.
Yeah, Carlisle is half an hour quicker, but yeah, I don't really like Gateshead after how they treated us after that playoff game. So I hope they enjoy their 730-mile journey to Truro and then back again.
Let's just hope Scunny aren't enjoying it.
I still haven't got over that red card. It was Scott Nielsen, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was worse than the one
Yeah.
the following year. The Nielsen red card was the worst decision I've ever seen in the Grimsby Town game. It was utterly appalling.
And then, yeah, exactly. Well, there we go, people. Anything else before we go? No. Well, there will be an at the match. The only problem I have is that because there was no signal on my phone, all the audio files have not come through in chronological order, which means I have to sieve through them. So it might be a little bit later. We will do a preview for Wimbledon because they're actually quite likable people and I don't mind speaking to them. And there's one who does quite a few social media bits who lives near me. So we'll get them on and do a bit. And we will give you a date of when that is then. If you want to do the Hullabalooza, Gameapalooza thing, let us know. We'll have, there are a couple of spaces available. Drop us a DM and we'll put it in. And between me talking to Anti-Lunch, I will get back to you and say hello. Anything anybody else wants to add?
Stay away from Anti-Lunch.
That's the pod title.
There you go.
She can't fund your lunch as well, mate.
I don't want a lunch. I just want the ticket.
It's not lunch.
Actually, no, I don't want the ticket. I don't want to go through all that rigmarole and then I find out I'm sat next to Sam.
Yeah, that's the reality. You'll be sitting next to me. That is the price you pay for that one. And also, who's going to pay for my lunch if Vic's not coming?
Doesn't the taxpayer usually pay for your lunch?
Ask Sam what he was doing Friday night.
What were you doing Friday night, Sam?
I'm not prepared to comment, and nor should anybody else.
Oh. Which member
I had
of the Conservative Party were you out on a date with?
If we get
Edward Lee.
I had a tapas dinner party at my flat in Battersea. Apparently, this was considered middle class and outrageous, and I got grief on the train.
It wasn't grief. I was just jealous. I couldn't host I wish I could host a tapas dinner party, and you showed us it, and your tapas looked brilliant, but
you do not like. It was unbelievably hard work. I'm not doing it again.
I fucking love tapas.
Tiny little food from Spain. Yeah. So Bags Ball it is. Anything else before we go?
That was Wednesday's Bags Ball.
What would Grimsby tapas be?
Mini haddock. Yeah. Small battered sausages, chips,
fish cakes. You could do little fish cakes, couldn't you?
Little fish cakes, pastry sort of thing.
I've got something that's not deep fried in batter.
Tiny mini pizzas from Iceland cut in half with a chip and a piece of coleslaw.
A bit brown sauce on the top.
Now that's a pizza platter, baby. You've just ruined it. What are you doing?
Spam on a stick.
Scrap on a stick was Simon Hodson says smiley faces. Ain't we funny?
Pink custard.
Chocolate concrete. I can't get that anywhere else. In fact, I don't think you can get it in Grimsby anymore.
I just think it was burned at school. I just thought they burned.
Hang on, Mike. This is important.
Delicious to it.
Delicious.
Yes,
what's the address?
St. Peter's Avenue.
They stopped doing it in Skelton's. Is it Skelton still, or is it called something else now?
Oh, Pudding Company as well. Someone just put as well. Pudding Company do it.
Thank you, Martin.
Yeah. So
did like
you can get Swales as well. Simon Hodson. Not gone forward with modern cuisine.
Swales. What's Swales? Swales to me was an abattoir.
Swales is what it is the butchers in Scather, but it's also like a bakery as well.
Mm-hmm. Skelton's is now Coupland, says Martin and MJ Jackson. That's what it is.
Right, don't get me started on when Skelton's become Coupland's. It was the biggest downgrade in franchising history.
Do you know what? Can I also say what was also a downgrade? Baker's Ovens to Greg's.
Yeah, 100%.
Baker's Ovens used to do 3 little sandwiches, and you could pick what you wanted in it. You could have prawn marie, or you could have like steak and a beef and
Meta at the Bags Ball.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, got a season ticket.
There's a really nice bakery up on Humberston Road somewhere.
We do not condone sleeping with old ladies for their season tickets. But if it makes everybody happy, what's the problem? My daughter makes chocolate concrete, says Nicola. Bring it in. We Nicola, I'm happy to turn this into TMS. If you want to send us cake in, send it to my house and I'll eat it and they can all watch.
I'll be honest,
We'll all meet
TMS
on Wembley Way on May 28th.
TMS talk more about football than we do, so
yeah, that's true. Why don't we chocolate concrete on Wembley Way is an amazing idea, especially as we're leaving and you have to wait in that stop go thing.
Yeah.
just passing the Tupperware around. We've done this. We've done Wembley so many times. We now bring Tupperware and pack up.
That's right. We know not to eat inside.
Yeah, that's where they make your money. Go to the
Not get any money from me, the southern bastards.
Yeah, exactly. But there we are. One more game left, people, and unbelievably, it is still in our hands. So enjoy the buzz. Yes, Mike, what's up?
there's 4 more games left.
Sorry, I meant one more game for.
Yes, there is, mate. Yes, there is.
Mindset.
Come on!
It's a mindset.
Okay, how about this then? Instead, it will say this instead. It is the quarterfinals of the playoffs on Saturday. Then we move on to the semis, and then we move on to the final. There is no other team in the Football League more experienced at playoffs, and I'm not even guessing that, but I would imagine it's true, has more experience in playoffs than Grimsby Town. They are going up against amateurs. Our mental fragility is very high, but that's not what I was meant to say. But we are cool, calm, collected, and we'll be fine.
I've looked at places I could get to on the Friday night for the second leg after when we're in the playoffs, having finished 7th. So it's all going on. I've worked out where I can get and where I can't after work.
I want Walsall.
Yeah.
How bad have they been, by the way? That is that 2 wins in 20 or so. That is unbelievable. And the fact they're still in with a shout of it.
Yeah.
We know the feeling.
We've gone back to football, but that's so bonkers that they've had that bad a run and they're still in with a shout of if they'd won on Saturday, they'd be in the automatics.
But Bradford are just as bad. Bradford have had a million opportunities to go above them, get it secured, get it sorted, and they've not been able to do it. And now they go into the last game of the season as well. But we're just looking at the form game. Wimbledon have won 2 in 10. We've won 3 in 10. So we're pretty similar to. But we're slightly better, and we've beaten better teams. I would argue as well. Their 2 wins, I think, were home at Harrogate and away at Carlisle.
How many did you lost?
10.
Oh, I'd love a home game.
We've drawn quite a few.
I took a screenshot. So
sounds daft, but I'd rather the second game away. I just feel it's on the better chance of that than
our record in the last 10 is 1-4, drawn 3, lost 3. Their record is not terrible. Their record is 1-3, drawn 4, lost 3. So very similar records. So,
right. See you on Saturday, boys.
See you Saturday.
There we go. Yeah, I'll be seeing you, Sam.
He said hello and then disappeared again, didn't he?
You can call him Uncle Alex.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be on a stand more in my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good goal. You can't make it straight for that.